I never thought betrayal would come dressed in silk robes and cherry lip gloss. It happened on a morning like any other, sunlight brushing against our bedroom blinds, coffee steaming in mugs I bought during our honeymoon in Tuscany. She looked beautiful, as always, too beautiful for comfort. Her eyes held something unfamiliar that day, though. Not distance, not coldness, something worse. Pity. "Logan," she started, not even waiting for me to sit beside her on the couch. "We need to talk." My stomach nodded. "Here it comes." "I've been thinking," she said, fingers tapping against her mug like a nervous metronome. "You're not the same man I married." I tilted my head. "What does that mean?" She exhaled like she was about to deliver news about a dying dog. "You've become soft. Too careful. You lost your spark. I need someone strong. Someone who doesn't apologize for being alive." I blinked. "You're calling me weak." "I'm not saying it to hurt you. I'm just—" "You just did." Her expression didn't change. No regret. No apology. Only certainty. As if she'd rehearsed the words in front of a mirror, over and over. "I met someone," she said bluntly. The floor fell from beneath me. "You what?" She didn't even flinch. "We've been talking for a few months. He's assertive. Wild. Unpredictable. Everything you're not anymore." I stood up. My voice shook. "You're cheating on me?" "No. Not yet." She smiled bitterly. "But I want to. And I will." Silence swallowed the room. I watched the woman I once adored reduce our entire life to a shrug. My chest burned, not with heartbreak but rage. Quiet, creeping, venomous rage. "So, what? You want my permission to destroy our marriage? I want you to understand why it's already over." I nodded slowly. "Fine." Her eyes flickered, maybe with shock, maybe relief. "I'm done begging for respect you've already buried," I said, grabbing my car keys. "You say I'm weak. Let's see how strong I am without you." I didn't slam the door. I didn't curse. I just walked out of the life I thought I wanted and into something far darker. I rented a small apartment across town. Sparse, quiet, unfamiliar. The couch creaked when I sat. The fridge was empty. No scented candles. No laughter. Just me and my echoing thoughts. She didn't call. Not even once. Maybe that was the answer I needed. For 2 weeks I didn't cry. I didn't sleep well. I spent my nights staring at the ceiling, wondering how long she'd been planning her escape. I remembered birthdays, anniversaries, stupid inside jokes that used to make us laugh. All poison now. Then came Isla. I met her in a bar called Blue Ember. I wasn't even supposed to be there. I'd missed my exit and figured whiskey might burn the memories out. She was leaning against the bar, swirling her drink like a spellcaster. Black bobbed hair, smoldering eyes, and lips that seemed to speak without sound. She noticed me watching. I looked away. She didn't. "New face," she said, sliding next to me. "Trying to disappear? Trying to breathe." She smiled like she understood. "I'm Isla," she said, offering her hand like a queen. "Logan." "No ring," she noticed. "Freshly divorced," I lied. I didn't owe my ex the dignity of technicalities. Her grin widened. "Good. That means no guilt." We drank. We danced. We didn't talk about exes, jobs, or pain. Isla existed in the moment, and that night I learned how to exist there too. In her hotel room, we didn't make love. We consumed each other. Her nails carved paths down my spine. Her mouth was hunger. Her skin was wildfire. And I didn't feel weak. I felt reborn. Morning light crawled through the curtains. She was already dressed. "No goodbyes," she said, grabbing her purse. "No regrets either." She kissed me once, slow, deep, final, and vanished. I stared at the ceiling, naked, breathless, alive. That day, I looked in the mirror and saw someone new. Not the man she discarded. Not the ghost of a husband. Someone raw. Unfiltered. I threw out everything that reminded me of her, Wedding photos, her favorite mug, the cologne she bought me. Gone. I changed my number. I hit the gym. I updated my resume. Something inside me demanded evolution. Not for revenge. Not for validation. For me. Weeks passed. I stopped thinking about her. Mostly. But then it happened. On a rainy Thursday, I walked into the grocery store to grab wine and pasta. I wasn't looking for fate. But fate found me anyway. There she was, aisle 6, wearing my hoodie. Still beautiful. Still cold. She looked at me like I was a ghost. Her eyes widened. Her mouth parted slightly. "Logan," she whispered. I raised an eyebrow. "Didn't expect to see the weak man again, huh?" She stepped forward. You look different." "I am different." She reached out to touch my arm. I stepped back. "You left me," I said. "But I didn't fall apart. I evolved." She looked confused. Maybe jealous. Maybe curious. I didn't care. I walked past her. Didn't look back. Because that night with Isla taught me something important. I wasn't weak. I just hadn't discovered my strength yet. After that brief encounter in aisle 6, I thought I'd feel closure. Instead, I felt a storm brewing, restless, electric. Her face haunted me, not because I missed her, but because she looked regretful. Like the strength she mocked had finally revealed itself, and now she wanted it back. But I wasn't hers anymore. I wasn't anyone's. 3 nights later, I found myself back at Blue Ember. Not for Isla, I knew she was a phantom. A one-night resurrection. But something about that bar made me feel alive again. Maybe it was the dim lighting, the scent of sin in the air, the jazz that oozed through the speakers like temptation. I sat in the same spot. Then came Serena. She moved like slow thunder. Tall, caramel skin, emerald eyes that didn't look at you, they searched you. Her black dress clung to her body like it was painted on. She didn't speak at first. Just stared, lips curved like she knew every secret I'd never told. "You look like a man who's tasted freedom," she said finally. I chuckled. "You always open with poetry?" "Only for the wounded." I tilted my glass. "Am I bleeding?" "Not anymore," she whispered. "But I smell the scar tissue." She asked no questions. She offered no explanations. We danced, though there was no dance floor. We talked, though I barely remember a word. Her presence was gravity, and I was done resisting. Back in my place, the fire ignited. But Serena didn't rush. No frenzy. She peeled off her dress like a queen disrobing before war. Her fingers ran down my chest, not to seduce, but to claim. "You're not soft," she whispered. "You're restrained. That's hotter." Her voice melted every wall I had rebuilt. We kissed like enemies who had finally surrendered. Her legs wrapped around me like shackles, and I never wanted freedom again. She moaned my name like a song I'd never heard but always knew. There was nothing quiet about it. We were thunder. We were earthquakes. I collapsed beside her afterward, breathless. She lay with her head on my shoulder, tracing lazy circles on my stomach. "You're dangerous, Logan. You say that like it's bad." "No," she purred. "It's just unexpected." She stayed the night. No vanishing act. No mystery. Just warmth, sweat, tangled sheets. In the morning, she made coffee. And smiled when she saw my stunned face. "I'm not like her," she said. "I don't run from depth." I didn't ask how she knew. Somehow, she did. Serena wasn't an escape. She was an evolution. We didn't fall into love, but something better, chaos with chemistry. She was an artist by profession. Painted emotions she didn't dare speak. I watched her work once, and the way she moved the brush, it reminded me of how she touched me. Bold, fluid, deliberate. I told her everything about my wife. Not because I wanted sympathy, but because I wanted release. Serena listened, not with pity, but with fire in her gaze. "She didn't deserve you," she said once, wrapping her arms around me after I'd confessed the final goodbye. "She was right about one thing," I said, staring at the ceiling. "What's that?" I had gone soft. I was trying too hard to be perfect. She smiled, brushing her lips over my chest. Then let's keep you messy. And we did. For weeks, our nights were soaked in passion. Wine, candles, whispered confessions, and wild exploration. Serena had no rules. Her lust was language, her body a gospel. I memorized every freckle, every curve, every breath she took was mine. One night, while lying beneath the stars on the rooftop of her apartment, she turned to me. "She'll come back, you know." I scoffed. "She already tried." I walked past her like she was invisible. "She won't stop there." I shrugged. "I'm not scared." "I know," she said softly, "but just promise me one thing." "What?" "If she begs, don't look back." I kissed her instead of answering. Because I knew the truth. I didn't want my wife anymore. But if she begged, if she cried, a part of me still craved the revenge. The moment she'd feel the pain I carried alone. The moment she'd realize what she threw away wasn't weakness. It was loyalty. And now, I wasn't offering that to anyone who didn't deserve it. Later that same week, as I exited Serena's building, I found her. My wife. Waiting outside. Soaked in rain. Mascara smudged. Red coat clinging to her body. Eyes swollen from crying. "Logan," she said, voice trembling. "Please. Just talk to me." I froze. She stepped forward. "I messed up. I was wrong. About everything." I glanced back at the lobby doors, Serena's voice still echoing in my mind. "Don't look back." "I'm not the same man," I said flatly. "I know," she whispered, reaching out. This time I flinched. She dropped her hand. I need a chance. Please. That guy, he was a lie. He ghosted me. Used me. And then disappeared. And now I see you were the real thing. Funny how karma doesn't use a microphone, just quiet justice. "I tried," I said. "I gave you everything." Tears streamed down her cheeks. I didn't see it until it was gone. I looked into her eyes. The same eyes that once said forever before they turned indifferent. "I loved you," I said, voice quiet. "But I don't even like you anymore." She sobbed, covering her mouth. I turned, walked away. Serena was waiting upstairs. I didn't rush. I didn't look back. I had burned. I had healed. And now? Now I was the fire. 2 weeks after that rainy encounter, silence settled. No texts. No calls. No drama. Just quiet. Serena and I grew closer in ways I didn't expect. It wasn't just lust anymore. It was laughter over burnt pancakes, sketching tattoos on each other with markers at midnight, holding hands during horror films, daring the dark to scare us. She brought out something I never knew I had, peace. But peace has a price. One evening, Serena's exhibition opened at a small downtown gallery. I wore a charcoal blazer she'd picked out, and she wore danger in a velvet red dress. Her art told stories, desire, decay, rebirth, all pulsing with raw emotion. Strangers circled her like moths, but her eyes always found mine. Then I saw her. My ex-wife. She stood in the corner of the gallery, her arms folded, wearing black like she was mourning something she killed. I walked over, calm but guarded. "Why are you here?" "I heard about the show," she said, glancing around. "Didn't know you were involved." "She's my partner," I replied. She blinked. "That serious?" "I don't do temporary anymore." She flinched, biting her lip. "Logan. I miss us." I sighed. "There is no us. There's you. And there's who I became without you. I made a mistake. You made choices." She stepped closer. "Can't you at least let me explain?" "Explain what?" "That you called me weak, ran into another man's arms, then came back crying when he tossed you aside? You want closure? You already had it when I walked past you in the store." She grabbed my arm. "Don't do this here. You did this the moment you chose someone else." Her gaze shifted behind me. I turned. Serena. She had watched the entire thing. But her expression wasn't anger, it was understanding. She walked over, standing between us. I think he's said enough, Serena told her. My ex's eyes widened, clearly sizing her up. You don't even know him like I do. Serena's smile cut sharper than any knife. No. I know him better. Because I met the version of him you tried to kill. My ex opened her mouth to respond, but stopped. Because truth is hard to fight. Serena slipped her hand into mine. Come on. Let's leave ghosts where they belong. We walked out into the cool night. She didn't ask questions. She didn't need to. But trouble wasn't done with me. A few days later, I received an envelope at my apartment door. No name. No return address. Just my name scrawled in red ink. Inside? Photos. Me and Serena. Kissing. Laughing. Naked on the rooftop. I stared in disbelief. My stomach twisted. Who the hell took these? Then I found a note tucked behind the final image. She doesn't love you. She's using you. Just like I did. You're still weak. A friend. Rage exploded in my veins. Who would do this? Who could? I confronted Serena that night, unsure of what I'd find in her reaction. I handed her the envelope. She flipped through the photos slowly. No shock. No denial. Just a slow breath. Then she looked up at me. It's her. I nodded. That's what I thought. She's trying to pull you back. Not with love. With fear. I dropped to the couch, burying my face in my hands. This is insane. Serena sat beside me. You're not weak, Logan. She's terrified because she can't manipulate the man you've become. She's stalking us. She's unraveling. We made a decision that night. We wouldn't hide. We posted a photo, me and Serena at the gallery. Her arm around my shoulder. My lips pressed to her temple. No caption. No hashtags. Just truth. Hours later, my phone blew up. Blocked numbers. Private calls. Voicemails laced with crying. Threats. Apologies. She was spiraling, and this time I felt nothing. No guilt. No ache. Just calm. But calm never lasts. The next night, Serena didn't answer her phone. I waited. Called again. Texted. No reply. Around midnight, I drove to her place. The door was unlocked. Lights off. I stepped in, heart pounding. Serena. No answer. I moved through the apartment, room by room. Then I found her in the studio. Tears running down her cheek. Her canvas slashed. Paint scattered. Photographs ripped. She looked up at me. She was here. My blood turned ice. What? She broke in. Said she wanted to fix us. Said you were poisoned. That I corrupted you. My fists clenched. Where is she? She ran. I pulled her into my arms. She sobbed into my chest. That night, something in me cracked. Not from fear, but fury. She crossed a line. This wasn't jealousy. This was obsession. And I was done playing defense. The next morning, I wasn't sipping coffee. I was making moves. No more waiting. No more hoping she'd disappear quietly. She'd broken into Serena's place, slashed her art, and whispered madness like it was scripture. This wasn't heartbreak. It was deranged entitlement. I met a friend from college, a private investigator named Milo. He owed me a favor. I handed him the envelope of stalker photos and gave him everything I knew about my ex-wife. Her habits, her new address, her job. You want dirt or defense? He asked, lighting a cigarette with a grin. Both. He nodded. Let me cook. While Milo worked behind the scenes, Serena painted through the pain. Her next pieces were darker, haunting faces, broken mirrors, bleeding colors. They weren't just art, they were war cries. She didn't speak about the break-in again, but I saw it in every line she drew. Her trauma had become a masterpiece. 3 days later, Milo called. I've got her. What do you mean? She's been following you two for weeks. Her laptop had GPS software. Her browser history? Pure obsession. Emails to herself under fake names. She's documenting everything, like she's building a case. A case for what? He laughed coldly. To make herself the victim. She's got notes claiming you manipulated her into cheating, isolated her, then ran off with a younger woman to emotionally punish her. I nearly punched the wall. She's insane. She's smartly insane. I found security cam footage of her entering Serena's apartment. No mask. Just full-blown narcissistic confidence. I breathed hard. I want her stopped. Not hurt. Just contained. Milo sent everything to the police anonymously. They opened a case. But that wasn't the end. She didn't go quietly. 2 nights later, Serena hosted another art showcase. A private one. Only 50 guests, all invited. Tucked inside a rooftop lounge with velvet chairs and dim chandeliers. Halfway through the event, she walked in. My ex-wife. Wearing a white dress like it was a wedding. Eyes locked on me. And behind her back? A box. Security moved to intercept her, but she raised one hand calmly. I'm just here to return something. She approached Serena and me slowly, placed the box on a table, and smiled. Logan, she whispered, open it. I stared at her, then lifted the lid. Inside, burned photos of our wedding. A scorched ring. Charred journal pages, mine. The scent of gasoline lingered faintly. The room hushed. My jaw tightened. What the hell is this? A funeral, she said sweetly. For the man who died when I left him. Serena stood still, hands clenched. Security moved in, but I raised a hand. No, I said. Let me. I turned to her. You think you can erase guilt with ashes? You think theatrics bring forgiveness? She stepped closer, eyes wide. No. I want understanding. You want power. And you don't have it anymore. Tears sprang to her eyes. You were weak, Logan. But now you're cruel. No, I said. Now I'm strong. She laughed bitterly. And her? What makes her so special? Serena spoke up, voice calm but sharp. I never tried to break him. My ex looked like she'd been slapped. You know what hurts the most? I said. It's not that you cheated. It's that when I was loving you with everything I had, you were already writing my obituary. You made me feel invisible, she snapped. No, I replied, voice icy. I made you feel safe. You wanted danger, so you created chaos. And now you want back in because your fantasy betrayed you. She went quiet. Security escorted her out without another word. And this time, I didn't feel victorious. I felt done. Utterly, finally done. Weeks passed. Peace settled in for real. Milo's evidence helped build a restraining order. She tried to deny everything, but the footage, the emails, and the break-in sealed her fate. A judge ordered psychiatric evaluation. She disappeared from our lives. Serena and I rebuilt. One slow kiss at a time. She moved in officially, painting her name on my walls in ways that didn't need brushes. Our home became a place of safety and sensuality, where trust wasn't earned, it was cherished. One night, while we watched city lights flicker like stars beneath us, she asked, "Do you ever miss her?" I thought for a moment, swirling my drink. "No," I said honestly. "But sometimes I miss who I was with her." Serena nodded. "The old version of you." "Yeah. The soft man. The loyal fool." She turned to me. "You're still loyal. Just no longer a fool." I smiled, pulling her close. "You make me feel like I was never broken. Just misread." She whispered, "Because I read between the scars." We kissed. Not out of passion, but understanding. The past was ash. The future? Ours. And as for her? She watched from shadows. Bitter. Alone. Because she never saw it coming. That the man she once called weak would become everything she'd ever want. But nothing she'd ever deserve.